After we finished our 3-day crossing from Sardinia, we arrived in Menorca, where I bought myself a Chinese copy of a GoPro with shitty sounds. Thus this video will be mostly narrated. We arrived in Mao in the evening. We had done the entire passage by trysail and main alone. My goal is to get to Gibraltar, where I have ordered a new pair of sails. The reason being, you can pick up items tax-free in Gibraltar, among some few other locations, if you are a passing boat. When we arrived in Menorca, Marie and Dylan left us, and it was only me and Mark on board. We were about to enter the winter season in the Med. There was no tourists to be found, most of the tourist hotspots were completely dead, and the weather was becoming increasingly unpredictable, with storms passing by on a regular basis, contrary to the calmer summer months. We weathered out a strong gale from the west and spent the days relaxing, exploring the city before taking a road trip. I remember biking in the rain and feeling amazing that it was finally possible to enjoy land-based activities without melting. On our road trip, we picked up Sebastian, an Argentinian fellow who would join us for about a week. On our way back, we visited a cave, and I swear it was the coolest cave I've ever seen. I don't understand that there weren't a single
wow.
tourist to see.
Oh my god! What the fuck? Whoa! Woo! Oh my god. I had no idea about this cave. These guys didn't go inside. Yeah, we know it was a cave. I thought it was like a small cave. I'm dreaming. Now 5 AM and we are sailing. It's hard to see. We woke up at 4 and now we have perfect downwind conditions and we're heading for Mallorca and we want to get there by daylight, and the wind seems to be gonna be pretty perfect for today. Very good. Menorca is somewhere over there, and Mallorca is over here. We have sailed over half the way with good wind, but now it's totally calm. So now we've taken down the sails and we're going to Mallorca. Should be there in 4 hours if the wind don't pick up and we have the motor all the way, which would not be fun, but what can you do? Okay guys, so this is kind of crazy. So in Menorca right now it looks like it's raining like crazy. It looks very aggressive. And it looks like it's pretty dark all the way around. Wait until we go back again there. And here is Menorca, no Mallorca. Pretty rainy there as well, as you can see. And here is just like up in that way. And you can see it's like this is the only place where it's not raining like crazy. So we're kind of expecting to have some rain. But if we're lucky, we won't have any. We're just gonna keep in this white space and just follow that. That would be awesome.
If you told me I would wear this many layers in the Med 2 months earlier, back when I were chilling under the sunshade in my t-shirt and shorts, I wouldn't believe you. We sailed from one bay to the next that day, and on the way, the wind picked up to crazy levels in a very short time. I went to the boom to put the third reef in the main. Sebastian was at the helm, and while I was tying down the sail, we broached. Luckily, I was already hugging the boom, so instead of being slammed by it, I instead just became a part of it as it shifted to the other side of the boat. I found myself suddenly hanging on for dear life on the edge of the boom over the water. Luckily, the guys quickly had the sense to pull in the main sheet so I could get back on deck. It's that thing that happens when the camera isn't rolling and you just wish it did.
What just happened, guys? I nearly went overboard. I stood and held around this to tie this loop around, and then the boat was too much on one side, so we jibed, and I was holding onto the boom, and I just flew all the way over there, and then I was able to step back on board, without getting hurt or anything because I was already hugging the boom. But I was flying for some few seconds there. And now we're doing about 5.5 I would guess, with the third reef and the trysail. So pretty cool downwind. Okay. Brutally cold, by the way. You're saying, yeah, I'm having merino wool in the bottom and under my pants, and then this is also wool pants, and then there's a fleece jacket, and then there's a wool scarf, and I'm sitting inside, and we just made food with propane, and we have closed all the hatches, and I'm cold. In Mallorca. It's November though, but still 11 degrees outside in Mallorca. Imagine that.
When we arrived in the next bay in the evening, we picked up Ricardo, which, as you guessed by the moustache, joined us from Italy. There were coming some very nasty weather the next couple of days, so we hunkered down on a buoy in a very protected and closed bay. Here, Mark and Sebastian unfortunately had to leave us.
Double, very strong synthetic line. This very nice protected bay. We've now been in Porto Colom for two nights, and this is our last day here. We're just waiting for this wind here to end, because it's still blowing quite a lot. It's probably pretty wavy out there. Then we're gonna fill water because we're out of water, and then we're gonna start sailing. And in 2 days we're gonna start sailing over to Ibiza. I'm constantly monitoring the weather right now, and I can show you how it looks from here, because we're trying to get to Ibiza, so the wind is kind of against us. And then on Friday the 25th, you can see about 2 o'clock, we will have the wind from our side, so we can go at the beam reach over to Ibiza. And then 24 hours later, you can see on this side it's pretty light, so we'll probably stay there until the morning. And then see the wind will come at the beam reach the day after, so we'll spend 1 day in Ibiza. That's the plan now. The plan is constantly changing because the weather is changing, but there it would be nice to do a beam reach over to Spain. And then 12 hours later, or a bit later, you can see we will have the wind with us to go down towards Cartagena and eventually Almerimar, which is there, which is my end objective. Our dinghy is loose, which is not good. I just called them, it's still floating away now. I just called the marina people, and I think they're gonna come very soon, I hope. I don't know what else I would do. Okay, I see them over there at the other pontoon jumping in the motorboat now, I think I saw them. So they should be able to get the boat shortly. It's drifting pretty slowly, but there are some nasty waves hitting the rocks over there, and there's no way I would be able to run all across the bay. I got back the dinghy, so now I can enjoy some sandwich.
You must take the GoPro.
Yeah. No, I filmed it. I was sitting here and I just saw the dinghy just floating by there. We are now readying to go out sailing. We're getting off the jib, which we took down for the storm, just so it wasn't on deck, why not? And we're preparing to first go and fill water and then go out to sea. It's pretty wavy over there where the ocean comes in, and it's very swelly in this bay because of it. But the winds are way less now, so should be fine. Okay guys, we're ready. We've gotten the dinghy up, foresail is up, everything is ready. So we're gonna go over there and fill some water. Porto Colom, Porto Colom, Porto Colom. This is sailing vessel Tranquility, Tranquility, Tranquility. Do you read me over?
Yes, Tranquility. Do you have the Porto Colom?
We would like to fill some water before we leave the buoy. Is that okay? Over?
Yeah, but water is not possible today, yeah?
It's not possible?
No, today is not possible. Is no good weather for port water. We want half place.
Can you repeat over?
For water, we want half place.
It is 1/2.
Yeah, but we want half place for water.
It's not placed at the pontoon outside of the office, over?
No, I'm sorry, it's not possible today.
Bro, why? We're out of water. Fucking hell. He says it's not possible, and I think it is because of the waves, but it's no problem.
But he's gonna change. He's the boss.
Yeah. But then it's like, we refill water in Spain. It's like, fucking hell.
In Ibiza, maybe.
No. The ports there are 150 euros.
Even for the refilling the water.
It's like 40 euros. They're crazy. But I mean, it's 2-3 days. Like, we have a lot of fresh water to drink and just do the dishes in water, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright. I have all my electronics here ready. So I'm just gonna turn on when the alternator runs, I'm just gonna charge all of these things. Yeah. Yeah, you take it off. Oh, that.
Yeah, I got it on camera. Big weights.
They look way bigger when you're this close to land.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh, maybe we should have blocked better the dinghy.
What?
The dinghy.
That's just going back and forth. That's normal.
Okay.
I'm trying to do some footage here, but it's very hard. Let's see. I'll just wedge myself like this. Okay. There's the beautiful footage. Mr. Ricardo has just taken the jacket on. I found my smoothie. I was charging my GoPro, so I haven't documented, but it might be crazy, but this is where we're anchored. In this beach over here. Pretty quick access to the beach. Ricardo just made real pasta carbonara, Italian pasta carbonara, on the Italian way. Having Italian pasta carbonara here on the boat. Very good, Ricardo.
Thank you.
We're now leaving for Ibiza. The guys are picking up the anchor. Got our new crew over there.
We are sailing under Norway's flag.
Yeah. We have the Spanish on the starboard and the Norwegian on the port. We've now been sailing for 5 hours or something like that, and blowing a good amount out here. We're currently sailing with 2 reefs in and a small trysail. How are we feeling, boys?
Super good. I feel like Popeye the Sailor Man.
Next day. It's a shame I can't film in the night. I don't know if you guys can see me at all, so I'm gonna film the sunset. But tonight was pretty hectic. And we did a lot of speed. We can already see Formentera, the lighthouse. It just blinks again. There you saw the blink, I hope. Very good. Been hard on the guys. Had some seasickness and we are almost at Formentera now. We've been sailing since yesterday at 10 o'clock. And now, what's the time now, guys? What's the clock?
Coming to the beach. Going to the beach.
But what's the clock?
Sorry?
What's the time?
Sorry. 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Okay, so we've been sailing for 25 hours, something like that.
27 hours.
We started at 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
11?
Yeah.
1. 26 hours.
26 hours. Alright. When we arrived at Formentera, we anchored for the day before starting the big laps over to Cartagena in Spain. When I made that trip the other way back in July, we spent 2 weeks on the trip. Now the plan was to finish it in only 2 days. We had just started this trip when this happened. So this just happened. We're having a smoke party. We're just raising sail, and I've had some coolant issues in the past, but the impeller has always been able to pump some water, and I tried priming it and it didn't work, and when you prime it you use a lot of heat, and I can still hear the fresh water boiling a bit. Nothing to worry about though, it's just need to cool down, put in some new fresh water in the coolant and change the impeller. But I'll definitely have to wait for the engine to cool down a bit. This is the reason why the coolant didn't work. This is the old impeller. I'm gonna change it for this. It has a small crack already here. That's why I changed it. So I'll have to change it again, but it's gonna work in the very small increment of time we need it. So the past couple days have been more hectic than what we expected. I'm currently making pancakes, and this is how it looks outside at the moment. After sailing for 1.5 days, we were somewhere outside the coast of Spain. It was completely dark in the middle of the night. I was on the off watch sleeping while Philip was on deck steering the boat. I couldn't really sleep. It was blowing about 40 knots, so not the best for sleeping. I decided to join Philip up on deck. The past days had been kind of overcast.
We hadn't made much power from the solar panels, and the alternator was obviously not an option anymore, so the power on board had just run out. I had told the guys to keep an extra eye out for other vessels, and the guy in the cockpit wore a strong headlight at all times. When I went up, I could see Philip was pretty tired. I don't remember what I was chatting with him about when I saw the color in his face completely disappear as I turned my head towards where he pointed. I saw a lot of colored lights as usual. After all, we were not far away from Gibraltar, where all the ships that goes between the Med or Asia and America or Europe crosses. Most of the lights was like the night sky, static, far away, but there was one green light that was moving, very smoothly and way too fast. The light was at our port side. As I realized the trouble we were in, I could start to make out the giant bulb on the forward of the ship, and it only confirmed what I feared. It's a cargo ship, and it was heading directly towards the side of our vessel. Philip, who was at the helm, asked me in a short and nervous voice, "Where did I turn?" "Hold the course," I said in what I remember as a stern voice. It was completely pitch black, but I could make out the white foam from the water being pushed aside from the vessel. I ordered Philip to throw me the headlight, and I flashed it at the bridge of the other vessel. It was only seconds away, so going below decks to grab the VHF was no use. Now our destiny only lied in the wind, our relative speed, and if the officer on the other vessel saw us and turned in time. It's been about 3 seconds since I spotted the other vessel. Time slows down in moments like these. I start to hear the machinery of the other vessel, and I'm fairly certain it's going to hit the back of our boat. It looks so slow because of its size, but I know it's at least moving at 10 knots. Or you could say, a mountain coming towards you at 30 kilometers an hour. So we are not gonna survive if it do hit us. It's closer now. I can do nothing more than watch. It's so close now, my headlight can't reach over the pulpit of the giant. It all feels kind of like a dream. Am I really about to die now? That's kind of a cool way to die. No, it looks like we'll lose the back of our boat, but we might survive. It's only a few meters away now. What only a few seconds ago was a small shadow is now obscuring the entire horizon and filling the water with foam. It barely misses us with a 2-meter clearing from our swimming platform. Behind us there's a giant wave coming from the bow of the monster, with the same speed as our boat, so we don't notice the passing at all on our boat. The moment I see we didn't collide, I lose all the strength in my legs and almost fall down the companionway. I've never felt so much adrenaline in my life. I'm shaking uncontrollably. I don't remember what I told Philip. I probably made a bad joke about how we almost just died. Besides, what else can you do? It's been about a year now since it happened, and it seems so far away now, like a dream that was only that, a dream. The only reason I know it wasn't is the small surge of adrenaline I get every time I recall this story.